racing! I just recorded a bunch of awesome stuff, and I didn't have the record button. Hey race fan, Brian Davis races, and you can too. Today we are going racing! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. There's gonna be 4 fat bike races in this series. It's about an hour around my house. I just started Trainer Road, had first weekend. My legs are toast. Went cross country skiing yesterday. My legs are toast from using strange muscles doing that. So I have lots of excuses. I'm all set up for that. But mostly I'm excited to go race. I don't really care. I could not care less how the race goes for me. I just want to go race my bike. I drive about an hour out to get to this race. The bike is on the back. Hello bike, you can see it way back there. I've double, triple, quadruple checked all my stuff. Went back to my old checklists from road bike racing, make sure I had everything. Oh man, I'm so jazzed. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell? Do I seem excited? I'm excited. All right. Whoops. All right. Let's go race. We'll see you out there. Number plate's good for the series, so I'm gonna get that done, and then I don't have to check in at registration in the future.
Hey, can I race too?
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. Try.
Whatever. How you feeling, Jeff?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very nervous.
Are you?
No.
All right, race fam. I am back from doing my registration, my number plate, all that jazz. So I think I'm getting ready to go. We got about an hour before race time, and I'm gonna get my clothes figured out. Looking at that steep hill, ooh-wee, I think I'm gonna take a layer down. Thankfully, they had extra goos and gels at registration, because I'm really gonna work on trying to have more carbs during the race. So I'm gonna hopefully get 4 of these packets down, which will, so 20, 40, 60, 80. If I can get 80 grams of carbs in during the 2 hours, they say 2 hours, but it's definitely gonna be less than that. I'd be happy with. So that's what I'm gonna work on today. Actually, that's what my my push today is to try to figure out how to get 4 goo packs down my throat during the race. And the legs are toast from that skiing. So free ride on got 2 laps in, almost 2 laps in. It's good. It's a good course. It'll be fun. It's a good blend of climbing and technical and fitness, and I don't know. It'll be a butt kicker. We'll have fun though. Number 1 priority. Have fun.
3, 2, 1, yeah! Be a winner! Be a winner!
All right, friends, welcome to this race. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Really appreciate it. If you get a half second, smash the like button. All right, here we are on the whole shot on this fat bike race. Now, I want to give myself positives and things that I can work on too. So a big positive for me was getting a really good start on this whole shot. You know, it's unfortunate that I lost the wheel here for a little bit, but the reason for that is because I just have not been practicing technical riding outdoors in snow often enough, so that first turn through those 2 trees really threw me for a loop until about lap 5. But in any event, I eventually figured this out and was able to sort of close this gap as we get closer. Before the lights went out in my brain. So let's talk about that for a second. So first of all, the number 1 goal on this race was to have fun, get something on the calendar to give my training purpose, and that mission was accomplished. I've done the Snowcrown series a number of times. I've never done the whole series. I've just done 1 or 2 races here and there. So really excited to be doing all 4 of the races this year. I didn't get a chance to pre-ride the course. The course was available for pre-riding the day before, but it's about an hour drive from my house, so I chose not to do that. Instead, tried to get outside for a little bit of snow riding, and that just wasn't quite the same. So it's okay, though. That's not a strong excuse for this race. So what I can do, though, I think in the beginning for the next race is think about how much this first lap is going to hurt and just be okay with that. And that's something I really need to work on, is this ability to suffer. It's been so long since I raced and so long since I went out this hard, with the exception of Zwift racing. It was quite a shock to the system. Now you can see in my computer, I actually didn't start the ride, not that it matters. I don't have power on this bike, so it's not something I check very often during the race. I did look down and see my heart rate on a number of occasions, and I did look down to get my lap times, or I should say my cumulative time overall. A couple things I could have done better there. So what I should have done is, when I did the pre-ride course, I should have taken note of how long each lap was taking me and then done some sort of extrapolation of what the total race time was going to be. We are responsible for counting our own laps, and I really struggle with that. Like after lap 1, I was totally lost. I'm like, I don't know, is this the second or the third or the fifth? I have no idea. So I just kept going. In fact, I ended up doing a bonus lap because I have no idea how to count to 9, I guess. So that's okay. I had a lot of fun. So the race time took me an hour and 15 minutes to get through this elite race. So they have beginner, intermediate, advanced, and elite. And I ended up taking 9th place in elite out of maybe 12 guys, 13 guys, I think, something like that. So that's okay. Results was not the focus here. Progression is the focus through the 4-week series. Can I get better, feel more comfortable, get better fitness, all those things. That's my focus. So again, everything hurts. Real shock to the system here. So I just need to find a better way to deal with that mentally in the first lap and realize that I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay, and I can get through it, right? So I did want to talk briefly about having some motivation to have this race. So I wore a mask when I was there. I was in, I was out. I was trying to respect my family's wishes that this was probably not their number one thing for me to do as a decision. But they were supportive of me getting out for the races. And I really limit my exposure in other parts of my life to be able to afford this amount of risk to go out and do the race. So that's sort of how I'm justifying this to myself, I guess. I did the best that I could with things that I could control, and that's all you can do, right? So let's talk real quick about nutrition. So I ended up, in the beginning, I talked about wanting to get through 4 packets of fuel. I had a pack right before I started the race, which was critical. And then this was really the first time I focused on how am I going to get enough fuel for these races to get through 2 hours or somewhere over an hour on a fat bike race. Fat bike racing it's a lot like cross. It's so intense. And there's a lot of stress related to handling the bike that makes it just difficult on another level, and that's why the calories are really important. And being cold certainly doesn't help. So having the first packet, great. I'm going to get through a couple laps. I'm going to have another packet. I'm going to have another packet, and you could totally tell, I could totally tell when those packets hit and when they didn't. So I've ordered some new packets. My friend Andy gave me some Science and Sport SIS gels last summer. I really like those, so I ordered up a slew of those, and I'm going to really focus on trying to dial in some nutrition things this year. I'm extending that into the training. Another thing about getting out and racing is this is my opportunity to listen to Trainer Road podcasts. So I listened to a nutrition podcast on the way out there, and I really focused on trying to get enough carbs in. The last time that I focused on trying to get enough carbs in was a 100-mile race to the lake, 100-mile road race on a road bike race, and I felt amazing when I finally focused on getting enough carbs. There I finally clicked on my computer, and that threw my brain off for a second. My glasses are fogging. I'm about to take those off at the top of this hill and toss them to the side. So just had a couple distractions on this turn, and you can see where I'm going to totally lose that lead group, and I'm going to let this next group catch right on up to me because I was distracted by other things. I thought about not racing with glasses and wish I would have. They're more trouble than they're worth if you don't absolutely need them in this type of environment. So, oh well, live and learn. This was the bad line to go through those trees. I learned that. All right. So now we're racing. Okay. So, So the carbs are so critical. So I'm going to really focus on that in training too. So my training road workout today, I'm doing this voiceover the next day after the race, and I'm going to focus on going down there and getting enough carbs. Now, in your brain, you feel like, oh, I want to ride my bike to lose weight. Don't worry about losing weight on the bike. I've known this for so many years, but it's taking me so long to really internalize that. And even today, I really struggle with it. So today I'm going to do it. I'm going to have 60 grams of carbs per hour when I'm down there on training, and that is my focus for the next week or so on Trainer Road. And I think I'll end up doing a video about how I feel with fuel and without fuel, battling through Trainer Road sweet spot workouts. So I'll let you guys know when that launches, or if you get a chance, subscribe to the channel, and then you'll know. So a couple other things with the racing here. I let a few people pass me later on in the race. I'm just going to run through lap 1 and then a little bit of the finish. That's it, and we'll call it a day for the race, because you're going to see a lot of this, just me by myself in the middle of nowhere cruising along the trail. A few things I did learn throughout, like this is an interesting spot right here. In the first lap I bet I didn't pedal. Yep, I'm coasting, and later I finally figured out if I pedal through this section, it makes this little uphill so much easier, and I was able to gain ground on so many people in that little section just by keeping power down on that tiny little downhill. It's an interesting little bit. So, and that's something else that came to me just over the course of the race. My handling improved a ton, and the tire pressure was right, the bike was right. Like, there's a lot of things I did right in this race. There's really not many things I did wrong other than fitness and that extra 8 pounds. That extra 8 pounds really, really hurt climbing up that hill. So that's the area I need to focus on. There's just no getting around those 8 pounds. I've got to do something about that. So we'll get it figured out, right? Another little thing is I'd like to adjust my Wahoo screen to just have heart rate and time, because I don't have power on this bike. That would have been handy, and I could have even clicked laps. That would have been handy mentally to get that off my brain, that cognitive load, and just focus on the ride. That would have been helpful. But overall, I'm really happy with the day. Love the race. Really glad they had it. Super stoked to be out racing again. What a difference the sugar makes. What a difference. I'm going to say that's like an extra 20 watts on your FTP to get that fuel right. So thanks for watching the channel. Goal and channel is to grow our sport, grow our fitness, grow our knowledge. Hopefully I delivered that to you today. Okay, bye! I love it when you